Do you see this as another case of Elon Musk just trolling the world, or is this serious here? Do we need to really take this investment pretty seriously?
So I think with Elon Musk, it's always kind of both, right? I mean, he's somebody, as we know, who really likes being provocative, and he likes being out there. But he's a serious business person, as we know, and he's also a very good marketer. And I think I think there are a number of ways to see this. One is that having, as you said, one of the most influential people in the world, one of the biggest Twitter influencers on the Twitter board is going to be probably a positive, at least in the near term, for Twitter. It's also, just another way for Musk to generate attention towards his other projects. And, in other words, SpaceX and in particular Tesla Motors. And I think there is a sense where, Twitter has been this really important marketing channel for Elon Musk over really the last decade or so, where he's been able to draw, kind of unlimited media attention, generate tons of demand for his vehicles, and generate, demand for capital, for investment in Tesla. And now owning, being the largest shareholder in that platform, allows him greater control over this super important marketing channel.
Alex, do you agree with that? Because, Elon Musk, as we mentioned, he took this Twitter poll. 74% of users agreed with this edit button. So do you agree with Max's assessment that this is essentially a net positive for the platform?
I think there's a little wrinkle in there. I think that, he has the ability to send stocks stratospheric even without any necessarily meaningful changes to the earnings fundamentals. The thing that is interesting here is that his stake is about $2.4 billion. So that's probably how much it cost him. That's less than 1% of his net worth. If Twitter stock were to rise 1,000%, which would be a huge leap, but if it were to climb by 1,000%, that would be commensurate to the amount his wealth has increased just over the past 2 weeks because Tesla stock has increased. So, you think you can infer from that it is not a financial calculation for him. That means there's something else at play. Well, then it's probably to do with influence. And if it's about influence, that means his interests do not necessarily directly align with the interests of other Twitter shareholders. And that would be a slight reason for concern. Now, if he's able to improve the Twitter product and boost earnings and just generate, sort of meme attention for Twitter, then of course it can still be beneficial to them. But that's the slight misalignment that is maybe something that is a cause for concern.
Is that increasing the Twitter product? Is that the edit button? I mean, because I thought the edit button announcement was kind of interesting because we saw Twitter come out with it on Friday. People didn't take it seriously. And then Elon Musk came out with the news. And then, Twitter's Jay Sullivan, I think, said that they were working on it. So what would be improving the platform, Alex?
Well, Twitter in the last financial quarter made about $7 revenue per user. Facebook makes about $17 per revenue per user in the same period, and actually even more than that in the US. So, changing the ability to edit tweets, that is not going to turbocharge Twitter's earnings. It's a nice feature, something that some people will like. It is a bit more complicated than just being able to edit tweets, because if you can fundamentally change the meaning of a tweet and then it's been retweeted by a huge number of people, there's a complication in there, which is navigable, but is something you've got to think about. So, changing a few features is not the answer. Improving advertising revenue is.
Max, do you agree with that? I mean, I wonder, too, do you think Elon has any intention of one day being in charge of Twitter, or, that's not his calculation, as you mentioned?
So, yeah, I agree with everything Alex said. And I think anyone who has, Elon can basically tell people to buy any stock. And there's like a large group of people on the internet who will buy it. But the problem is, you're riding a wave here where if he loses interest, if he leaves the board, if he gets in a fight with Twitter's management or whatever, then that's going to have sort of negative implications. And as Alex said, Elon Musk's interest here is Tesla Motors. I mean, he's made that incredibly clear over his career. This is somebody who is, I think motivated by, desire to, create this, gigantic, sustainable energy company. He wants to run the largest car company in the world. And I don't think, being CEO of Twitter is like on that list of Elon Musk's agenda. So no, I don't think it's likely that he's going to, pursue a buyout, although, of course, never rule anything out. And it would be, pocket change for him. And I also think, we should be skeptical that, you know, the idea that Elon Musk is sort of causing Twitter to adopt an edit button. My guess is that, you know, as I said, they had this in the works and they're just going to ride this wave because, like, your choice is either, you know, work with this, you know, incredibly, you know, somewhat erratic but brilliant kind of influencer, or try to fight him. They've clearly decided to work with him, and so they're going to, you know, let him take credit for the edit button.